I was 26 minutes into a lukewarm drive-through coffee when I saw her running toward my car, like something out of a dream I wish I could forget. Screaming, crying, no shoes. Her mascara had bled into her skin like bruises. She kept shouting my name. I didn't stop. The blinker was already on. The engine was already humming. And I was already gone, even before the wheels moved. You don't come back from what I saw. You don't look at the person you've built your life around the same way when you catch them whispering, "I missed you so much," to someone else's collarbone. And no, I didn't catch them in bed. That would have been easier, honestly. It was worse. So much worse. See, Lissa thought I had left for my 3-day conference. She watched me pack. She even ironed my shirts. But I never got on the plane. I stayed. Something in my gut told me to stay. And like the pathetic overthinker I am, I didn't have a plan. I wasn't trying to catch her. I just drove around, slept in my car, ate cold gas station sandwiches, told myself I was being dramatic. Until I wasn't. On the second night, I pulled into the parking garage beneath our apartment just to charge my phone. That's when I saw a car I didn't recognize, silver, spotless, parked in my spot, with a parking pass I'd never seen before. I knew right away. Still, I went upstairs, quietly, like I was the one doing something wrong. I opened the door and nothing, just silence. But I noticed it immediately, a wine glass on the table and a second one on the floor by the couch. A man's jacket on the back of a chair. I could hear the shower running. My chest collapsed in on itself. I should have left. Should have turned around. But I didn't. I just stood there, frozen like an idiot. Then I heard her laugh from the bathroom. Laugh. Like she hadn't texted me 10 minutes ago saying she missed me. Like she hadn't sent me a good night, love you selfie while another man's jacket was hanging 2 feet away. I didn't confront her. I couldn't. My legs just carried me out the door, down the elevator, past the lobby where the security guard gave me a confused wave. I drove until I didn't know what city I was in. I didn't text, didn't call. I just disappeared. I know that sounds dramatic. But when someone tears your reality out from under you like that, what are you supposed to do? Eat cereal and go to work like everything's fine? So no, I left. I vanished. And now? Now she's blowing up my phone, leaving notes with my friends, crying to my sister, screaming in parking lots. She says she made a mistake. Says she didn't mean for it to go that far. But you know what? She meant every laugh, every lie, every time she told me I was being clingy while she was warming someone else's bed. So if she wants to find me, she better start digging where she buried my trust. The first night after I disappeared, I slept in a Walmart parking lot 3 towns over, curled in the back seat like some sad excuse for a man. I didn't even bother turning off my phone. I wanted to see if she'd notice, if she'd panic, if she'd finally feel something. It took her 3 hours. The first message was innocent enough. Hey babe, did you land okay? A few heart emojis. Fake concern. Then came the follow-ups. Why aren't you responding? Call me now. Are you okay? And then the shift. Where the hell are you? I didn't reply. Just watched the bubbles come and go like she was arguing with a ghost. She had no clue I was parked behind a delivery truck watching a couple argue over shopping carts like it was the most normal thing in the world. And me? I was numb. Hollow. Like someone had scooped out everything soft in me and replaced it with static. Around 3 a.m., I checked my voicemail. She'd left one message. Just one. She was crying. Not the ugly, guilt-soaked kind. No, this was performance crying. The kind where you're still making sure your voice sounds small and broken, like a victim auditioning for sympathy. Darren, I don't know what's going on. If this is about him, it's not what you think. Please don't do this. Please. Just come home. Let's talk. 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 You were in the shower with him when I walked in. There were 2 glasses of wine, Lissa, a man's jacket. The music was still playing. You didn't even flinch when you sent me that "I miss you" text. Talk. God. I started driving east. I didn't know where I was going, just knew I needed miles between me and the smell of her shampoo. I stayed off the highways. Avoided hotels. I just moved. I left everything. No note. No explanation. Just my wedding ring sitting in the middle of the kitchen table. She'd know what that meant. On day 2, she called my mom. I got the voicemail from her too. Darren, honey, Lissa's been calling. Says you're missing. She's crying a lot. I'm not getting in the middle of whatever's going on between you two, but please let someone know you're alive. That's when the anger started to replace the grief. Missing? Missing? I wasn't kidnapped. I wasn't hurt. I was done. But I guess it never occurred to her that I could actually leave. That I could actually be the one to walk away. She always thought I was too soft, too attached, too desperate to keep the marriage together. And maybe I was. But here's the thing. When soft people break, they don't crack. They vanish. Quietly. Without fireworks. And when they're gone, they don't leave pieces to fix. They leave space, so empty it echoes. That's what I gave her. And the silence? It's eating her alive. Because while she's busy calling everyone we know, spinning stories, playing the he overreacted card, I'm holding on to a second secret. One I haven't told anyone. Because what I saw in that apartment wasn't the worst part. The worst part was what I found the next morning. In her email. And that's when I realized she wasn't just unfaithful. She was planning something much darker. I didn't plan to open her email. I swear I didn't. I'm not that kind of guy. I've always believed in boundaries, in privacy. Even when things got rough between us, I never once looked through her phone. Never stalked her socials. Never logged into anything of hers. I thought that made me a good man. Turns out, it made me a blind one. But the morning after I left, I realized I still had access to our shared cloud drive. The one we used for grocery lists and vacation receipts, and all the little nothing memos couples leave each other. I logged in, almost out of habit. Just to delete it. Just to sever one more tether. And then I saw it. A folder titled House Docs, Lissa. That wasn't ours. Not one we'd made together. I clicked on it, expecting something boring. Maybe paperwork for refinancing or old inspection reports. But no. The first file was an email draft. Never sent. Just sitting there like a ticking time bomb, waiting to be discovered. Subject line. Finalize transfer after he's gone. My blood turned to ice. The message body wasn't long, but every word carved a little deeper than the last. Once he leaves for the convention, I'll sign the docs and we can proceed. He won't contest it. He never fights anything. Just make sure the property reclassification is airtight. I want nothing in his name. I read it 3 times. Then I started shaking. Lissa wasn't just cheating on me. She was planning something. Calculating. She wanted the house. My house. The one I bought before we even met. The one I remodeled with my own hands. She wanted to remove my name from everything while I was away, because in her mind, I'd never know. And the worst part? She was right. I wouldn't have noticed. I would have come home, kissed her, maybe even thanked her for handling things. God, I'm such a fool. Everything started clicking into place. The rushed conversations about cleaning up finances. The push to streamline our accounts. Her insisting we switch to her lawyer friend for the estate paperwork. And I, like a loyal, clueless idiot, nodded and went along with it. Smiled like an emotional golden retriever while she planned to erase me from my own life. I nearly threw my phone out the window, but I didn't. Instead, I forwarded the draft to myself. Then took screenshots. Then backups of the backups. Because if she wanted to play Silent War, I could be a ghost with teeth. That day, I turned off my location permanently. Deleted every trace she could track. I called an old friend who owed me a favor and told him I needed a place to crash. Somewhere she wouldn't think to look. Somewhere quiet. She was still texting me, by the way. Still playing the innocent card. Please come home. I don't know what I did. Just tell me what this is about. But now I knew. This wasn't just betrayal of the heart. This was betrayal of everything. Trust. Home. Identity. She wasn't trying to fix things. She was trying to erase me. And maybe I should have gone back. Confronted her. Burned everything down in one glorious screaming match. But I didn't. I chose silence. Because the deeper I disappeared, the louder her panic became. And I wasn't done watching her unravel. It was only a matter of time before she realized I wasn't just blowing off steam or hiding at my buddy's place. I had disappeared. Really disappeared. And for someone like Lissa, who thrives on control, that kind of silence is like poison. She couldn't handle not being the one holding the narrative. So, of course, she did the one thing I never thought she'd do. She went public. The first post was on Facebook. A filtered photo of us from our wedding day. Me looking awkward in a rented tux, her glowing like she actually meant her vows. The caption said, "If anyone has seen my husband, please let him know he's loved. I just want him home." Broken heart. I nearly laughed when I saw it. Loved? Loved? Is that what she calls deleting my name from house documents while another man's jacket is hanging over our dining chair? That's not love. That's premeditated character assassination disguised as romance. But people ate it up. Her friends started commenting, "Praying for you, girl. He'll come back, he just needs time. You two were soulmates." And the kicker? Her cousin wrote, "Some men don't know what they have until it's gone." I didn't reply, didn't correct anyone. I wanted to. God, I wanted to scream the truth into every comment section and upload the screenshots of her betrayal for all the world to see. But I didn't, because the more she tried to spin the story, the worse it would be for her when the real one came out. And it would come out, because while she was busy building a pity campaign, she didn't realize I'd already contacted a lawyer. Quietly, anonymously, and I'd handed over everything. The email draft, the hidden folder, even photos of her mystery guest's shoes sitting by our couch. My lawyer didn't say much, but his eyebrows shot up more than once. "Don't make contact," he told me. "Let her keep talking. She's hanging herself with every post." And oh, did she keep talking. By the end of the week, she was on TikTok. I'm serious. She made a dramatic slideshow with soft piano music and photos of us from over the years. Beach trips, birthdays, brunches. And over it all, this text floated across the screen. "When he forgets what love really looks like, remind him." I watched it twice. Not because I missed her, but because I couldn't believe how far she was willing to go to pretend she was the victim. She wasn't looking for me. She was looking for validation. She wasn't crying because I was gone. She was crying because I left before she could replace me without consequences. But I stayed silent. I let her cry online. I let the comments roll in. I let the world fall for her performance. Because every spotlight she shined on her loss was only going to expose more of her lies when the lights started to flicker. And deep down, I know she's starting to feel it, the slip, the panic, because she's no longer asking if I'm safe. She's asking if I'm watching. And I am. I wasn't expecting the message. Honestly, I almost didn't open it. My hands were shaking just reading her name. Harper M., Lissa's younger sister. The one who always acted too cool to care. Always looked at me like I was too boring for Lissa, too safe, too soft. We'd never been close. I always thought she pitted me in that quiet, judgmental way certain people do when they think you're not man enough for their family. But Harper's message wasn't smug. It wasn't judgmental. It was short, and it hit me in the gut. I saw the emails. "If you're hiding for your own peace, stay hidden. She's not the person you think she is. I'm sorry." That was it. Just those 3 lines. And suddenly the entire charade Lissa had built started to tremble. Because if Harper had seen the emails, that meant someone else must have accessed the shared folder. Maybe accidentally, maybe not. And if Lissa hadn't scrubbed the draft, if she thought I was too far gone to notice, then what else was she still trying to hide? I messaged back, slowly, not sure if I should even trust Harper. But I needed to know. "What exactly did you see?" Her response came 20 minutes later. And what she sent wasn't just confirmation. It was a bomb. Screenshots. One was a conversation between Lissa and a friend, someone named Raina, talking openly about timing everything just right. Lissa was laughing in text form about how pathetic I was for trusting her with the finances. Another showed her talking about how she wanted to make me leave without actually filing anything herself. "Let him walk out first," she'd written. "That way I don't look like the bad guy. If he disappears, it's clean." Clean. She wanted my disappearance to be clean. It wasn't about guilt. It wasn't even about regret. It was strategy, optics, reputation. She didn't want to deal with the mess of divorce. She wanted to orchestrate my exit like it was some kind of brand decision. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. I wanted to drive straight back and scream in her face. But I didn't, because something changed in that moment. Up until now, I'd been hiding out of heartbreak. I was grieving, confused, hurt, desperate to disappear because it felt like I didn't matter. But now I was quiet on purpose. Lissa wasn't just a cheater. She was calculating. She was manipulative. And people were starting to see through her. She made one mistake. She made too much noise. And the more she begged online, the more she tried to paint herself as the devastated wife, the more people like Harper started looking behind the curtain. I thanked Harper. She told me she wouldn't say a word, that she had her own reasons for not trusting her sister anymore. She didn't go into detail, and I didn't ask. All I needed to know was that someone who used to roll their eyes at me now saw what I saw. That Lissa wasn't heartbroken. She was exposed. And now she was desperate. Because she knew I had disappeared quietly. But she had no idea what I was planning next. I thought I was numb by now. Thought nothing she did could shock me anymore. But I was wrong. I was holed up in a small cabin outside of Renton, a place so quiet. The loudest thing at night was the ticking of a warped ceiling fan. My phone barely got signal, which I loved. Silence was finally mine. Until that morning, when my phone buzzed with a video sent by my old college roommate, Carter. No message, just the clip. I should have known it would be her. Lissa, sitting on our couch. Well, her couch now, since I was conveniently being erased from everything. Holding a mug she never actually drank from, looking solemn and fragile. The lighting was soft. The walls decorated like she was on some influencer's set. And beside her, to my total disgust, was a local reporter from a lifestyle blog. She had turned our mess into content. My husband vanished without a word, she said, voice trembling on command. He left me completely blindsided. And there have been rumors, but I just want the truth. If anyone has seen Darren, please, just let him know he's not alone. He's still loved. I stared at the screen like it had physically punched me. The woman who plotted to take everything I had, who whispered sweet lies while another man's jacket draped our kitchen chair, was now crying on camera like I was the monster. She even had the nerve to mention our wedding song. Quoted a lyric like it still meant something. Like she hadn't completely gutted me in that same living room when she thought I was out of town. I thought, this is it. She's winning. She's controlling the story. But then I made the mistake of reading the comments. And oh, how sweet that mistake turned out to be. Because apparently, while she was busy staging sympathy, she forgot the internet can be brutal. Especially when your lies don't line up. People started picking her apart immediately. One user asked why the missing husband had posted a story just 3 weeks ago, the same weekend she claimed I'd vanished. Another said her wedding ring was back on, even though she'd been spotted without it at a wine bar. A third user, bless them, dropped a side-by-side of her tearful video and a party pic from just 5 days earlier where she was laughing with a man suspiciously similar to the one I saw her kissing. And then came the real blow. Someone leaked a screenshot of the email draft. The email, the one she never sent but had saved in the shared cloud folder. I didn't post it. Harper didn't. But someone did. And once it was out there, the tide turned fast. People started calling her a liar, a manipulator, a fake. I watched that video burn in real time. Views climbed, but so did the backlash. Her eyes in the video, so carefully trained to look sorrowful, now looked like a performance. And the more people questioned her, the more comments she started deleting. Eventually, the video itself vanished from her account, but not before it had done the one thing she feared most. It made people wonder what I was hiding for, and it made me realize something too. I wasn't just running anymore. I was finally reclaiming control. I don't know how she did it. I changed states, bought a second-hand truck under a new name, wiped everything clean. But somehow, she still found me. Maybe it was dumb luck. Maybe someone recognized me and tipped her off. Or maybe she just wouldn't stop digging until something cracked. I guess I underestimated just how far guilt, or ego, can drive someone when their carefully built fantasy starts falling apart. It was a Saturday. I'd just finished a shift at the mechanic's shop, the kind of grimy, quiet work I never imagined myself doing. But I loved it. Nobody knew me there. Nobody asked questions. I was just Darren, a guy with a crooked smile and grease under his fingernails, trying to outrun the ghost of a woman who once said she'd love me forever and meant it for about 5 of those years. When I stepped outside, she was there, sitting on the hood of my truck like a scene from a bad TV drama, wearing sunglasses too big for her face and a soft gray hoodie like she was trying to look smaller, less threatening, like someone I'd feel sorry for. I didn't say anything, just stood there. Part of me wanted to turn around and walk back into the garage. Another part of me, the weak, stupid part, still wondered if she might finally say something real. She pulled off her sunglasses slowly, like it was supposed to be dramatic. You really weren't going to tell me where you went? I didn't answer. She slid off the hood, walked up to me like we were just having a fight over groceries or bills. Like I hadn't watched her destroy everything we'd built from the inside out. I get it, she said, voice low, too controlled. I messed up, but you disappearing like that? Do you have any idea what that did to me? That's when I laughed. Actually laughed. A short, bitter sound that felt like it came from someone else. You mean what it did to your image? Your little sob story didn't go viral the way you wanted, huh? Her face tightened. That's not fair. Fair. I took a step closer. You planned to cut me out of my own house, Lissa. You weren't just cheating, you were plotting. You wanted me out so cleanly, no one would ask questions. You wanted sympathy and silence. She blinked. I panicked. I didn't think you'd actually leave. That's what finally got me. Not the denial. Not the fake tears. That one line. She didn't think I'd actually leave. Because deep down, she thought I needed her more than she needed me. That no matter what she did, I'd always be there. The quiet one. The weak one. The doormat who made dinner and kissed her on the forehead while she texted someone else under the table. And maybe I was that man. Once. But not anymore. I'm not coming back, I said. You don't get to unruin what you ruined. You're seriously going to throw it all away? Everything we built? No, I said. You already did that. She stood there frozen. No more speeches. No more performance. Just stunned silence, like she finally realized this was real. That I wasn't playing her game anymore. That she couldn't cry her way out of it, or spin it, or post about it until the internet felt bad for her. I got into the truck and started the engine. She didn't move. But as I pulled out of the lot, I looked in the rearview mirror and saw her knees buckle. She leaned against the brick wall and covered her mouth. Maybe it was regret. Maybe it was just embarrassment. Either way, I didn't stop. I wasn't angry anymore. Just empty. But somehow, in that emptiness, I felt free. It's been 6 months since that day in the parking lot. 6 months since I looked Lissa in the eyes for the last time and realized there was nothing left to save. And I mean that. Nothing. Not even the sadness. Not even the anger. Just a final, heavy silence between two people who used to believe they were forever. I didn't go back. Not even once. After she found me, I switched jobs again, moved to a quieter town with one stoplight and a diner where everyone still pays in cash. The cabin I'm renting isn't much. The pipes groan, the floors creak, and the heater has a personality of its own, but it's mine. Every inch of it feels like a fresh start. No framed wedding photos. No drawer full of someone else's hair ties. No wine glasses left out with lipstick that isn't mine. Just peace. Real, aching, beautiful peace. For the first time in years, I wake up without dread in my chest. I go days without checking my phone obsessively. I cook meals for myself. I read books. I fix things. I breathe. And sometimes, I even smile. Not the fake kind I used to wear around Lissa when I was trying to hold our marriage together with duct tape and silence, but real ones. Quiet ones. Harper still checks in now and then. Her messages are short, kind. She never asks questions she knows I don't want to answer. A few months ago, she told me Lissa's been reevaluating things. Going to therapy. Staying offline. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's damage control. Either way, it's not my burden anymore. And that's the thing I never thought I'd say. It's not my burden anymore. I stopped trying to make people understand what she did. I stopped justifying why I left. I stopped needing anyone to pick sides. I'm not the victim. I'm not the villain. I'm just a man who finally realized that disappearing wasn't weakness. It was survival. I didn't vanish to punish her. I vanished to find myself. And I did. Last weekend, I met someone. At the farmer's market, of all places. Her name's June. She laughed when I told her I didn't know how to pick out ripe avocados. We talked for almost an hour about music and road trips and bad coffee. I didn't tell her everything. Not yet. But I didn't lie, either. I just said, I'm learning to start over, and she smiled like she understood exactly what that meant. And maybe that's all I need right now. A clean slate. A quiet life. A second chance, not with someone else, but with myself. So yeah, I disappeared after her betrayal. And no, I'm never going back. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't slamming the door. It's walking away and finding peace so deep, they hear it echo for the rest of their life.